And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend, Cheap Ludes. It's Thursday, so you already know what's going on. We got some new teases in NBA 2K23 My Team. Hooray! Not only do we have new teases, but we also have the first look at what theme we're going to be looking at for the next few weeks, which, I don't really know what to say here. It's not what I expected. I can say that. I can say that very confidently that this is not the theme that I expected whatsoever. So, first things first, we got our first look at the Season 2 cards we're getting next. Season 2, New Frontier. Hooray. Howdy, y'all. Great, we have a Western theme. It's definitely something we've all been asking for sure. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have been just blowing up 2K asking for a Western theme. I will play Park if they let me hoop in chaps, though. Like, if they give me some chaps, I'll go play Park for sure. 100%. Like, I already got the Western wear mustache theme going on here. This was unintentional. I had no idea. You may be looking at my facial hair and thinking, like, yo, he had insider knowledge. Nah, I'm just an idiot. It is what it is. So we got our first look of cards. We got our first little, like, Season 2 New Frontier cards. Look at Earl Boykins is in the mix. That's what's up. Bill Laimbeer, this gold Carmelo should be pretty good for offline purposes. Same with Emerald, Derrick Rose. JoJo White's usually kind of good. Clark Kellogg's out here, the homie. Dan Issel's out here. Sick. And then we got our lock-ins. We got Kyle Kuzma and Mikal Bridges. Both of these guys should be really good. I'll test out the jump shots. I know Kuzma's is pretty good, but I'll test out the jump shots regardless. And then the Season 2 select lock-in for Pete Maravich. Allen Iverson, through the roof price-wise. We'll touch on that in a little bit. I mean, it's a pretty good season, I think. Like, all things considered. Like, Kuzma and Mikal Bridges look both relatively good. Pistol Pete should be good. No defense, but honestly, he might not even have clamps, and not having clamps is more of an advantage this year. I promise it is. The clamps badge works opposite of how it's supposed to work due to most cards having clamp breaker. Having clamps is actually detrimental at this point, which is kind of wild. It's the complete opposite of what we've been dealing with. It's about that time. Any guesses on who is coming tomorrow? Oh, man, I don't know, partner. Why don't you tell me? New Pioneers pack. Woo! They're going all out with the Western theme. I'm not going to lie. The card art's kind of hard. Like, this pattern looks like a t-shirt that I would wear, and I think I actually have one of them, if I'm being honest. I think it's a button-up shirt. Yeah, I do. I would go find it, but that seems like a lot of work. DeJounte Murray should be really, really solid. Like, really solid. Don't know if he is supplanting the homie Alex Caruso in the lineup. Being that I'm a Bulls fan, I just have to rep Caruso. I have two Bulls point guards right now. Granted, I kind of fall in and out of love with the Derrick Rose card on a near constant basis. You would think we're in a toxic relationship. But, like, DeJounte Murray should be really good. Like I said, is he supplanting Alex Caruso? I don't know. Probably not. But he should be good, though. For sure. He's going to play lockdown defense. He may be able to shoot. He's probably going to have a better jump shot than Caruso. He's just going to dunk less hard. I do like to boom, though. Next up, we got Diamond Amari Stoudemire. I don't know. They did Amari justice last year, so it's going to be interesting to see if they do him justice this year. I could see this card being relatively cheap, though, based on the fact that it's Amari Stoudemire. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I don't really know if he's going to be great or if he's going to be bad. I'm assuming he's going to be fast and he'll be able to ball handle, which will use... Yeah, I mean, he will get used for that reason. I think he'll be decent, for sure. I don't think he's going to be, like, next level unstoppable, but he'll be good. Then we got Pink Diamond DeMar. If he can even shoot, like, on par with his current series card, yeah, he'll be a god. He'll be a top-tier shooting guard, no question about it. That release is really, really solid. Even if he doesn't have the shooting badges, if he just has like a manageable three-pointer, yeah, he's going to be nasty. And the fact that he's a pink diamond leads me to believe that he will. And then we got the headliner of the set. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We got three different Kareems. We got Lakers Kareem over here. Young. Mutton chopped. Lakers Kareem. Then we got Bucks Kareem, which... Yeah, I think it was Kareem. I wish they would use Lou Alcindor every once in a while, just like once. I know that's like dead naming him since he changed his name and everything. Are they legally allowed to do that? I feel like they're not legally allowed to do that. I feel like he would be mad about that. Then again, if I changed my name, I'd probably be mad if somebody called me a fake name. So never, or yeah, Yeah, that's a fake name at this point. So yeah, I would be mad. Yeah, I feel that. You know what? Glue Al Cinder. 100%. And then we got old, dusty old man Kareem over here. Honestly, I just don't know what to say about Kareem. I think he'll be really, really good. Is he going to be better than Olajuwon? No. So I think that's the only negative, is he won't be better than Olajuwon. But for paint masters out there, he'll probably be pretty good. I don't know what jump shot they're going to give him. Looking at DeJounte, I mean, he comes standard with a 73-pointer, high mid-range. I would expect, yeah, this is pretty accurate. Like, he's going to have good finishing badges, solid driving dunk, good defensive badges, good playmaking badges, probably a lack of shooting badges if I'm honest, but 6'4", 6'10 wingspan. He's going to be plucking the ball on current gen for sure. Michael Jordan dribble style too, so he's going to move relatively well. That's kind of a big thing for him as well, is his movement is going to be better than Caruso. I mean, he might legitimately be like a top tier point guard. It just kind of depends. Wiggins behind the back, I hate it so much, but some people like it. Murray release, I haven't tried it out yet. We're going to go try it out in a second. Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma on quick. That release looks nasty. He's well-rounded, like just on a current series level. He's super well-rounded. He's kind of just like a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none kind of guy, and that's usually how Kuzma is, so I would expect him to have, like, offensively, kind of, like, very well-rounded, defensively, not be so great. It just kind of depends. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but I'm kind of, regardless, stoked. He looks solid. Mikal Bridges should be really good, like really, really solid. I mean, he's going to be nothing but a 3-and-D wing, but he's going to be a very, very good 3-and-D wing. He already comes standard with like Challenger. He's got clamps, so that's going to be annoying, but he has glove. Yeah, Mikal Bridges should have a high 3-point rating, be relatively fast, excellent defensively. He's just not going to be the biggest ball handling card in the world, and that's going to be his number one detriment. Then we got DeMar DeRozan. Like I said, he's got the same release as Jeff Malone. I think they're just going to give T-Mac DeMar DeRozan's release this year. That's what I think they're going to do because we got Jeff Malone has it right now. So they're probably just going to base T-Mac off of DeRozan would be my assumption. I think he has his own base in the game if I'm not mistaken though. Like I'm pretty sure T-Mac has his own base. So I guess we'll see. If T-Mac's base sucks, they'll probably just DeRozan him because DeRozan's is pretty good. Like I said, I mean, if he even has like a 74 3-pointer, he'll be solid with just these badges on gold. Yeah, he'll be heat for sure. DeRozan's going to be like a top tier shooting guard. Like there's no question about it. I would expect, I don't necessarily think he's going to be the best shooting guard in the game, but he's going to be up there for sure. Like DeRozan's nasty as is. So let's go ahead and hit freestyle and test out these jump shots and see if anyone's really worth picking up. Let's start with DeMar. DeMar's interesting, right? Compared to his jumpers in the past, like it's definitely slower, but his player build seems to be bigger than it has been in the past. Like I firmly believe he's bigger than he's been in 22 or 21. Like he looks huge, dude. His arms seem to be longer in general. I was gonna say lankier, but longer. Lankier doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Overall, he does seem lankier though, so that's not really that incorrect. But the jump shot is extra smooth. Like DeMar should be super, super solid in catch and shoot situations. And honestly, his pull-up is really good as well. I've used this DeMar card quite a bit though, so it's kind of hard for me to really separate the fact that I've been using this card since really day one for various reasons, and the fact that his jump shot is like pretty good. Like maybe I'm a little higher on his jumper than most other people would be, but I really do think DeMar has one of the best and easiest to green jumpers in the entire game, especially with the meter off. It's very pronounced where he releases it, and I think you're going to like this release if you do get a hold of it. We're going to shoot a deep shot real quick. That's bricks. Oh, that's cash. Never mind. There we go. Look at DeMar. DeMar is so clean. He really is. He's so good. I would love to pick that card up tomorrow if he wasn't going to be, 600K, honestly. Like, I better pull him because there's no way I'm affording him off the market. But, yeah, DeMar's pretty much everything you would think he was going to be. Now, let's take a look at DeJounte. DeJounte is really interesting. The release isn't bad. It's actually really similar to Caruso's, just kind of like how he releases it. He's got a weird hitch in his jump shot, though, that I'm not particularly fond of. It's kind of got a weird load-up animation. You have to get used to it, I feel. Like, it's hard to shoot off the catch and shoot because of the way he shoots. Like, he ends up having to like fully square up when he shoots the ball, which I don't know how I feel about it. It's easy enough to green once you get used to it, but there is a bit of a learning curve. So I don't know how good DeJounte will be. I feel like people are going to adjust to his jump shot because of how good he is defensively. And that's definitely something that I think is beneficial. And if you have a shooting guard next to him that can really move, or if you play him at shooting guard, I think he'll be really, really good. Just kind of depends what you want to do. People are going to be using DeJounte for his defensive prowess and his movability. Mobility is probably a better term. Dude, I'm so tired. Leave me alone, okay? I don't know. The jumper is clean, though. Like, it is, but it's not really as good as you'd think it'd be. And then we got Mikhail. Mikhail's got, I don't know, the jumper's weird. I haven't used him yet this year. This is kind of not great. I don't know how I feel about it. He almost shoots like the jump shot you would expect to see someone shooting if you went to like David Buster's and they were playing the basketball game and they were trying to fire off as many shots as humanly possible. Like, he's kind of got that little flick. So I don't know. It's a really uber specific, but I've been there a bunch of times. I always play the basketball game, dude. It's the only time I can really live my hoop dreams because I'd be out here splashing, dude, on those little hoops. It is what it is. Give me them tickets, cuz. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of his jumper, but he does have a good player build. He just releases it kind of low, too. I'm just not a fan of this jump shot at all. Like, there's going to be people who are going to tell me it's the greatest jump shot ever. That's how it goes with pretty much every jumper, but I just don't know if I necessarily believe that. I feel like once you get it down, it's probably pretty easy to hit, but I am not one of those people that are going to get this jump shot down consistently, so I'm not a big fan of it personally. You may disagree, and I could totally understand, but it's not like the most meta jump shot in the world. And then we got runway model Kyle Kuzma over here, who has a very quick jump shot, but it's pretty good. It's very good. People were not over-gassing this jump shot. This is real nice. Yeah, a pronounced release point, relatively quick release. You're going to be able to get this off like outside of coverage relatively easy. All his whites are really close to going in too, which I find to be really interesting. I do feel like there's a correlation with like jump shot speed timing and whites going in. That's strange. I don't think it's necessarily accurate, but certain cards with quick releases do tend to make a little bit more whites, but maybe because it's like harder to time consistently. I don't know. That would make sense actually from like a gameplay perspective. This jump shot's good. It's a little too fast for me personally. Like, I'm shooting pretty consistent lates just because I don't have the timing down. Like, it's pretty much, that's an early. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people like this jump shot quite a bit. I'm just not really sold on it personally. But, you know, every jump shot is very subjective this year. It's all dependent on the person. I'm just not 100% loving Kuzma's. I feel like it's a little too fast for me to consistently green. But hey, maybe I'm just trash. That's probably accurate if I'm being honest. I feel like if I could get this jump shot down consistently, though, it'd be, you know, terrifying to my opponent. For sure, because he can get this off real quick. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe if he has shooting badges, it'll be a little bit easier, since he'll be able to time it pretty consistently. I don't expect Kuzma to be completely overpowered, but I expect him to be pretty good, so yeah, I was going to say, let me make one before we go. Just one. I only want one. Let's take a look at the market. I am interested. First things first, I mean, let's go take a look at Iverson. I know he is way more expensive. There's a lot of him up, so I would expect for him not to be crazy expensive as of right now, but I would expect him to go back up. Kind of similar to, you know, I don't think Karl Malone is still over 100K. There's a bunch of Karl Malones up earlier. People still run Karl Malone, though. Trae Young was expensive. I don't think anyone really cares about Jokic at this point, even though he's still pretty good. But they're going to probably drop, I don't know, because it's like, it's weird. Because in Season 1, for the first select set, they dropped a second Amethyst, tanking the value of Grant Hill, right? But then for the second set, they didn't drop any more Amethyst, so it's possible that Allen Iverson is going to be the only Amethyst necessary for the lock-in. But I would expect that that's not accurate. I would expect they drop another Amethyst or ready for it, possibly even another Diamond for the actual lock-in. It could be completely wrong, but I can't expect them to just do Amethyst for the lock-ins every single time. Eventually, there's going to be some Diamonds in the mix. But then again, if they're dropping Season 2 Select Diamonds, what's the point in doing a lock-in for a Diamond over here? So I don't know. It's kind of weird, in my opinion. I don't think, once again, any of these cards that are coming out tomorrow are dropping the price on anyone specific. Like, Hakeem's not going down in price. Ray Allen might seem to drop in price, maybe, but it just depends how good DeMar is, really. At the end of the day, we'll probably see a drop in someone like a Michael Porter Jr. since we're getting two kind of stretch forwards tomorrow. Someone like a Draymond might drop in price a little bit. I don't know. None of these pink diamonds are hitting below 100K at this point either, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't even know if Dominique is at this point. Like, Dominique Wilkins is still over 100K. That's so wild to me. Like, that's so crazy. Like, Zach LaVine's good, but man, he's still super expensive too. Like, it's nuts. Steph's still over 100K. Well, barely. He's slightly under. This Steph's still almost 300K. That's so crazy. That is so crazy to me. Yeah, I mean, the only person that's really going to see it drop is probably Wilt, because I think Kareem will do what Wilt does very similarly, if not outright better, because he's coming out later, you know. Someone like Dame might drop in price. I don't think anyone really cares about Dame at this point anyway. Someone like Melo, I mean, maybe he drops in price, but he's already about 50K, so he's kind of dropped off in price quite a bit. I don't see anyone else that's specifically going to drop off in price. Like, not even someone like KG. KG still fills a very particular role, you know? So no cards, in my opinion, are going to drop off in this regard. Like, even Dwayne Wade's not, because people still run him at point guard. Doesn't really matter. Joel Embiid is still a special kind of card, so I don't think he drops off. Kareem's not going to be able to shoot incredibly well. So, yeah, I don't think anyone really drops off in price. Like, at all. None of the nightmare cards. I don't think Ron or LeBron or John Wall, any of those guys are dropping off, period. Just kind of depends how good DeRozan is tomorrow. But realistically, we're not going to see any of these cards really drop in value until they're basically, I'm not going to say unusable, but significantly less usable than they are currently right now. As far as badges, hold your gold badges for sure. There's going to be badges that these guys don't have. Like DeMar, even if he has shooting badges, he's not going to have Limitless. So, but it's possible he doesn't even get to apply Limitless, so I would hold off on that. The badges I would look at would be like Guard Up, Deadeye. I think he'll have Midi Magician. That's like his whole thing. So like Guard Up, Deadeye, possibly even Catch and Shoot, but they pretty much give that to everybody at this point. But like Claymore, Comeback Hit, these are shooting badges he probably doesn't have. And then when it comes to Kareem, Catch and Shoot, Corner Specialist, stuff like that for shooting badges, maybe like Midi Magician. Other than that, I don't know what else he's not going to have. So keep an eye on that, and then you can kind of determine if any of the badges in your collection are going to shoot up in value. It just kind of depends, though, because if it's really in high demand, like, people will be putting theirs up too, and they'll probably lower the like price on a bunch of them, honestly. I would look at your badges right now and see what's high and kind of get rid of them, because it's like you could have some badges in your collection going for like 5-6K and you wouldn't even know it, you know. Like Ankle Breaker and Floor General going for a good amount. I'll probably sell both of these for 5K, 4 or 5K at this point. Like, I don't care. I don't apply badges to cards anymore. I just kind of gave up. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. As always, has been your friend Cheap Ludes. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.